Hello, guys. A very good morning to all of you. How are you guys today? I hope that all is well. And welcome to the Trading Cage. This is where we beat the gold. Welcome to today's analysis. Today is the 28th of January 2026. This is actually the third week, our third week doing this analysis every morning with you guys. So this is a new project that we started this year, um, doing live analysis for you guys in English. Okay, so we've been doing this for in Brazil basically for about a couple of years now, but in English it's a new project. So we're gonna be doing this with you guys every morning from now on. All right, cool. The gold doesn't stop going up, okay? It just keeps on renewing all-time high to all-time high. And yesterday was no different. So today we're gonna we're gonna map the price, see what we could or should expect from the gold today. And we will start with our daily chart analysis as we do every day, okay? Just bear with me for 1 second. Cool. All right. So let's see what we can find out from our daily chart. So what we can see here on our daily chart, unlike yesterday's candle, which was candle 18, candle 18 did not test, but candle 19 did test. So since it tested, it found support. It continued on its way up until it found resistance once again. So in here on the daily chart, there's nothing much for us to mark up. We do have this channel here that we mapped on the 15 minutes chart yesterday. It's still kind of inside that channel now. It did go over it a little bit, but now it's back into inside the channel. So we'll say, oh, some guys just got there. Yes, gold has been very bullish. Um, how can I call your name? Agamish. Oh, Mishael. Yeah, so I'm not afraid, Michelle. I'm not afraid of buying on gold right now. Okay. Simply because we have been buying all-time highs all over the show. Okay. So this is not very unusual. So I'm not really afraid of it. For me, it's all good. But we do need to get enough confluences to do so. Okay. So when we go over to the lower time frames, um, we will see that we may get really good buys in here still, especially if it does a three candle pattern around the 50% of the day. That would be an awesome buy for sure. Why? Because we still on a high trend, okay? So since we are on a high trend, if the price continues above the 50% region of the day, that means that we still on a bullish movement. If it comes below that 50%, then we would say that we might get into a bearish little movement, at least on the micro and a micro tendency, but not on the macro, because on the macro, the gold is bullish all the way. So we can do those analyses as they come. So let's go have a look at this hour chart here. Yesterday was a bit sideways, and then after Trump, we had Trump talking at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we can see how the gold just kept on going up. We actually had all of these candles during the press conference that Trump spoke on yesterday. So for today, what do we have here? We did find some rejection of these 50% of the day before. So we would assume that we have a good support here on that trigger candle there. We will keep on watching it, of course, because a support region would be around the 50%. We also have support here on the minimals of today. Not only that, we have all of these inefficiency here that the price could come and grab. Yesterday, we had some assumptions that price should come back down here to grab these inefficiencies. It didn't, but it did come around the 50% region that we had mapped and our support. So we managed to get some really good buys around here, which was great because we then held on to it until the high part of the movement before. So that was quite good for us yesterday. Let's go down to over here on there's not a lot to mark up here on the daily on the 1 hour chart, but we do have this, which is a resistance point, okay, for the price. So we're working in between support and resistance. The actual support should be around the 50%, but since this candle got rejected here, it's just kind of good to track it. We'll leave it there for now, and we'll track to see if we can find support in that region, okay? We have this inefficiency here on candle 50, so we'll map that out as well. And we have inefficiency down below. So we'll map these out as well. Not only that, we have a hell of a lot of inefficiency down here. But then we do have these bottom side of the channel, the bottom part of the channel just there. If people decide to liquidate this much, we could see the lower part of this channel being a sorry, the word just got out of my head. Being a support for this price when it comes down, simply because we also have this region of support to the left, okay? So this here is a real good support for the price if the price decides to come down. I don't see it coming down with such a bullish movement here, okay? I do think that the gold is expensive, but it has been quite expensive for quite a while now. So we cannot just go thinking that, oh, it's too expensive, it's going to melt, because it might just continue on its way up due to all the macroeconomy, everything that's going on in the world. People are running to the gold to protect themselves. So we could still see this price going up quite a bit. As I said on the days before, it's a lot more expensive than I thought it would be at the moment. I was hoping gold to get to the 5,000 in February, but it actually just went up, which is great for us who are doing swing trades on the gold. That's actually really, really awesome for us. But as day traders, as I say every day, we do what the chart shows us to do, okay? So I am a buyer in this market. I do prefer to buy than to sell, but I am going to do as I see that the chart designs for us. So this is pretty much it for the hour. We've got inefficiency here, inefficiency there, inefficiency there. We do have liquidity just on the region of the 50%. We have some sort of support in here. The candle 60 actually hasn't been able to break through that. Oh, bugger, look at that. volatility on the 1 minute. That's actually a big push from buyers there. Okay, so we have support here and resistance just up above. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's go down to a lower time frame, and then we will see what it actually shows us. So here is our 15-minute chart. This is that trigger candle on the 1 hour chart. On the 15 minutes here, we have price coming down to that support region. We have candle 50 here on that support. Candle 52 didn't manage to come up. So what we'll do, we will put this Fibonacci here just to track what's been happening to that price. So candle 53 is just below that 50%, but we do know that we have support below. Actually, the support line should be here. Should be around here, which is that little top there. So we are below 50% of these movement, but we are above 50% of the day, which is not bad. Okay. The other thing we have is we do have this trigger candle 43 that could hold the price in there, which is pretty much this line here, but we don't want to have too many lines on the chart. It's mainly for us to have a look at. Okay, so we have that resistance there that could hold the price, but if price does break through, the only thing that would hold the price going up in that region should be candle 46. Okay, just before that trigger candle on the hour chart. So as we can see here on the 1 minute, we had a big push from buyers, but then sellers kind of tried to bring it down. Buyers are just hitting on it again. We could have a possible good buy here, but the stop is just too great. So we're talking about 1,200 points at the moment for the stop. But I do see a buy on this market. I'm actually the 60 tested. Oh, crap. Wanted to put a buy in there. Come on, test down. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna put a buy here. Oh, came back. Okay, missed that one. So I could have put a buy here. I don't want to buy too high now unless the price comes down and test the trigger candle 158. Because we have a pullback to the high. Okay, so price came down here, tried to continue, made a pullback on the 50% region of this movement. So this is a pullback, and then confirm the pullback to the high. So I expect this price to come back up here to this region. Okay. But now it got a bit expensive for me to get into that trade. I want to see that test coming down here, testing the trigger candles on the 1 minute, so I can get into that buy. Candle 54 just opened, so I'm just jumping my analysis a little bit just because we may get into this trade here. Just the stop is kind of, it's 1,200 points, quite a lot of points for a stop. On 1 minute, it's coming back to the 50% zone. Let's see if candle 798 actually comes down. No, it won't. I don't want to be induced to buy, but on the 15 minutes, it shows us that the power is still in the hands of the buyers at the moment. Yeah, it didn't quite test where I wanted to test, so that's totally fine. I'll let it go. We still have more tradings to come. In here, I'm just going to explain to you guys what I saw, okay? And why I knew that this price was going to come up, but I wanted to test a little bit lower. We have a trigger candle here, 158. On the 15 minutes, we had 4 candles rejecting this 50%. So I have this one, this one, this one, and this one, which tells me that if the price wants to continue to come down, it will need to come and grab liquidity. Not only liquidity, you do have this little bit of inefficiency here on candle 49 and on candle 48. So price might come back up to grab that liquidity in there, and then it can move down again. But what I wanted it to do was actually test the trigger candle on the 5-minute chart. Because if it tests that trigger candle on the 5-minute chart, that means that it would reject the price at this level. If it rejects price at this level, I'll know for sure that price is coming up, at the least into that resistance zone in there. So there it goes now. It's doing what I wanted it to do. Tested the 50% on the 1 minute. Let me see if candle 161 test down a bit more. It's getting a bit of pressure from sellers at the moment. There is a resistance in that region. So let's see what happens there. Now, candle 160, it closed above the trigger candles here, which is a good sign. 161 is trying to push down, okay, but doesn't have enough force to break through that 50% yet. So I'm going to wait for this price up here. Going to get my trade now. Let's see if it will accelerate. Okay, so we are now in the trade. I'll get my stop. I'll put my stop loss down here. But if it melts below that 50%, I will close the trade, okay? So at the moment, we do have a little bit of resistance here, but we have all these rejection on the 15 minutes. So we could expect our take to be around here in this region. But let's see what happens. If it gets all tangled up in here, I'll just put a little bit of money in my pocket. So I have a little bit of fat to play with when it comes time for the American market opening. After 400 points, we will secure our trade. So we'll put it on break even in case price comes back. Then we are safe. We're not going to be losing any money anymore. So let's see if candle 161 will close above candle 160. Candle 802 haven't closed above the last high. Okay, so we're waiting for candle 803 to break through and stop these guys. We have liquidity on top there. If it managed to accelerate, it should accelerate into this inefficiency there. Hasn't been able to break through. There could be a pullback. Let's see if 804 will do the job. Come on. Okay, 804 hasn't been able to break through yet. Candle 803 did close inside of candle 802, which could be just a pullback, but it does not show enough bullish power in there. Let's see if 804 will close above 803. If it doesn't, we are going to put the price on break even, okay? Simply because that price could come back. Could be just a liquidity grab at the moment. We are in a downtrend on the micro, so it did come back. It didn't close above, so we are going to secure this trade. We don't want to get the start of the day with a loss, because if we do, we already have $300 in there. If we start the day on a loss, then when the American market opens, we are running around behind our tails to try to get the money back and then get to break even and then do another trade to get our target gain. So that's not really good to feel that way. See if we'll break through. So it didn't close above candle 155. Candle 162 is testing down. If it doesn't accelerate now, it will have to come and grab liquidity down below. Then it will take us out on break even. I'm not going to hold that trade because there's not enough volatility at the moment, okay, to accelerate and pay us. So I can just wait for the next trade. On the 1 minute here, candle 5 closed above its 50%, but below candle 804, 50%, which could mean that 806 will need to come down to the last non-support to test again. I could risk this trade if I get my stop loss down below, because I do think that price will come up, but I'm not willing to risk at the moment. When we have all of these, when we have all of these candles, these trigger candles here, showing that there's a very strong resistance point in this region, okay? So it could be one of those things. It may come up. I do expect it to come up here, but in here on the 15 minutes does show me that I have a very good resistance point here. So we'll just wait for the price to break through it instead of be holding trades in this region, okay? Well, there you go. As I said, candle 162 came to test support. Quite a lot of resistance in this region here on the 1 minute, as you can see. So a lot of resistance in that region. Price could be just trying to do a liquidity grab, okay? So hence why sometimes it's better to let the market do its job, and then we get into better trades instead of us trying to fight the market. On the 15 minutes here, we can see candle 54 hit the same region, just grab the liquidity on top of candle 52, okay? But then got big pressure from sellers there, which means we've got resistance in that region. Candle 162 is bringing the price back below the 50% of these higher movement, but it's still inside on the top part of the 50% on this micro movement here. This is where the reading candle per candle will really help you guys out. We can see on micro movements what price aims to do, right? So what is it more likely to happen to the price on the time frame they're working on? As you can see, um, from the reading of the 1 minute here, I already had a knowledge that price could come back down below. And I didn't want to hold on that trade because it could turn into a really bad trade for me early in the morning. And I didn't want to start the day with a loss, right? So I put it on break even, let the price come back. So once 808 does this movement, we know that price will have to correct down below a little bit lower. Now it has generated inefficiency here on candle 162. Candle 1621 created inefficiency. 162 came and cleared it out. Now 163 could do the same movement once again. Okay, simply because we have inefficiency generated. There is not enough volatility at the moment, which means that the market will just keep on playing, being sideways until it gets enough liquidity to continue on the way, on its way where it needs to go. The market makers know where they expect the price to go. Okay, so they keep on playing around like this when there's low volatility, just stopping people. It stops buyers, stops sellers, stops buyers, stops sellers, and then it gets all that volatility, all that liquidity, and then moves. So we prefer to get on the market when the market is moving, okay, in one direction, instead of doing these sort of things, being sideways and consolidated. On the 15 minutes here, we will see that candle 54 closed on the same line as the ones before. Which tells me that the market is kind of undecided, okay? So we have a lot of pressure from buyers, but at the same time, you have a lot of pressure from sellers, or you have buyers liquidating. So you have people wanting to buy and you have people liquidating or wanting to sell. And then you get all of these, they're not dojis, but you can see there's a big fight in this region, which brings it out to be a region of interest of price, okay? It's pretty much in this region. So it's better for us to wait for the market to get into a direction, and then we'll jump back on the market once it decides where it's going. Too bad it didn't come here and at least touch that trigger candle 48. That was at least the first target we would have for that trade. We could put the money in the pocket there, but resistance took care of it, so we couldn't quite get there. But that's totally fine. Let's come back here to the 5 minutes. Once again, want to tell you guys that we do offer private mentorships, okay? And one thing, if you guys could help us out, don't forget to like, comment, share this content with your friends, and subscribe to this channel, all right? If you can share it with as many friends as you can, we do have an aim of getting 3,000 subscribers in 60 days. We have done over 10% of that, which is great. And we just started 3 weeks ago. But I do need the help of all you guys to reach that target goal. Okay. So I count on your help for that. If you are interested on private mentorships about candle by candle reading and all the techniques that we use, just get in touch with me. Okay. Send me a message and I'll get back to you guys about that. So candle 163 here on 5 minutes is trying to get back to the higher region, to the upper region. We can see here that on 1 minute, let's have a look, see if it has confirmed that pullback. It made a pullback on the 50% zone. Once again, the market works from high, low, and 50%. Okay, we do not need other levels of Fibonacci to know where market should go. 803 confirmed the pullback to the high, but 80814 already brought the price down. 8015 hasn't been able to continue its way up yet. If the price comes back and breaks through this trigger candle 810, that tells us that market will have to come down lower to grab more liquidity, okay? So let's wait for that. Market's a bit stuck on this price range at the moment. We still have that resistance point. Candle 164 is going to try to break that resistance through now. Let's see if we'll manage to break it and accelerate. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, if you do have any questions, just write it down on the chat, and I'll be able to answer your inquiries. Okay, so if you have any questions, just write it down. You can write down in English. You can write it down in Portuguese. I know that there are some people here that that do. They are my students and are here as well watching us in English. So if you have a question, just write it down. Okay, so candle 817 tried to break through trigger candle here 804 and was stopped by it. So now 818 is coming down lower. Let's see if price will be able to continue on its way up. There you go, a little bit of volatility from buyers. A little bit of volatility now. There we go. Big push. Again, hitting that trigger candle. Looks like 818 will be able to break through. Tiago, why didn't we get into those trades? Because here on the on the 15 minutes, we can see what's happening in this region here. And it's better for us to wait for the price to break through all of this before we get into trades. Simply because we do know that we have resistance above, we have support below, and we have a big fight in between two big elephants. And in a big fight between two big elephants, the only people who gets damaged is the grass. And we don't want to be the grass in here right now. Okay, so it's a lot better to be patient than to get into trades like that. One thing that I always tell my students is patience pays the trader. Okay, it is boring because we do, it's a boring job because we make the analysis and then we have to wait for the market to do what it needs to do. So in between this time, all we do is we do nothing. We wait for it. So it's kind of a lonely job, but it pays really, really well though. It's better than being in a factory with another 30, 40 guys yelling and your boss down your throat saying that telling you that you choose low every day. This is a lot better. Okay, so candle 164 managed to break through. Now I want to see a test from candle 821 testing this region of support now. If it tests down, we do have a trade. I did want to wait for candle 55 to close. Wanted to close above 54. I want this price to close above that region. Now, on the 5 minutes, it has done the job. It has closed above. Okay. And it is testing down on 1 minute. So we have a possible trade right now. One minute, tested down. Now 822 testing support. Was resistance before. Let it test. The more it tests, the better it is. Simply because it will let us know if it has found support or not for that price. I'm going to put another buy here. So it came down, tested support, found support here on that trigger candle 807. Let's see if it will continue on its way up now. We have done what we can. We have waited for it to test. So target here for that trade is the maximum of candle 144 or maximum of movement there on candle 136. The good thing about stopping here is that we do have that trigger candle on the hour chart, which is that black line. So, but that's a very good target. That gives us pretty much 1,000 points, almost 1,000 points, about 900 points, in which we have about 1,000 points of stop. So it's 1 for 1. Okay, so we are now on the trade. Let's hope that candle 55 closes above candle 54 now. We have these trend line here on 1 minute. So candle 824 closed above, candle 825 is coming to test support once again. We do have inefficiency here on candle 144 that price could grab it. I'm going to add the stop loss here because I don't want to get a very big bearish candle just coming down really quick without having a stop loss. Market sometimes does those things. Candle 165 did close inside of candle 164, which is not ideal, but candle 55 did close above the maximum high of candle 54. 56 will have to test down a little bit. Let's see if it will continue on its way up. One thing here that's not very good is that candle 55 closed below the trigger candle 48. So it would be better if it had closed inside, which meant that price would have broken through that trigger candle. But now we are ready on the trade, so we'll hold it until it disconfigures. On the 1 minute is still configured as a pullback right now. It's still respecting that trend line, and it's still respecting our Fibonacci. Just doing one thing here really quickly. Okay, so 1 minute, we still have price above our entry level. It's finding resistance once again. The price coming back. Let's see until where it will correct itself. We don't want to see price coming down here and staying below the support here. Okay, it can come and test, but we don't want to see it staying below that support area. Now here on the 15 minutes, we do know that price can come and test this trigger candle 53 here, okay, which is the last known support. That's the last point that can hold that price in there. Let's see if price will hold. And the 167 has tested down. Let's see if it will come back up. Now it does need to break through that trigger candle 828 here on the 1 minute to show us that we have enough bullish force to continue the movement. Still looking quite good, as we already knew that candle 56 had to test it down. Tested more than I wanted to anyways. I didn't want it to test that much. So things are a bit slow because this is analysis of a live market, okay? So we can't accelerate it. I know sometimes it's a bit boring, but as it is a live market analysis, we've got to wait for the market, and I'm so sorry about that. Sometimes when the market is moving quite fast and quite quick, it looks like time goes past a lot faster. But when it's doing these moves a bit slower, it gets a bit boring. So now we did have this trend line here on the 1 minute, and candle 829 broke through it. Now 830 actually brought the price back above it. We want to continue to see the price above it, okay? 832 just has hit the target of the trigger candle, but it hasn't broken through it. Let's see how price will react on that region. Candle 833 cannot break through trigger candle 830. The price is moving now. Let's see if it continue on its way up. We have all this inefficiency here in candle 144. Once price moves over 400 points, we are going to protect it. Come on, accelerate. Candle 143 may be able to hold that price a little bit. So we could see price actually stopping a little bit in that region. Now, once again, break even. If candle 835 closes inside of candle 834, I will close my trade, okay? If it breaks through, I'll hold it. Great. Closed above. We still have the rest of the inefficiency for the pressure grab. Candle 168 is finding quite difficult to continue its way up. It's hitting those trigger candles to the left. But it's still live. Price is still alive on this trade. Let's see if it breaks through the maximum high of candle 167. Hasn't been able to break through. 838. Coming back a little bit. Did close on the region of 50%. These sounds that you hearing was just me getting to a trade on the Brazilian market here. Sorry about that. That's going good. Gold's also doing so at the moment. If the gold comes back, I'll put those $300 on my pocket. Okay. So if it comes back inside, I will be closing that trade because I want a little bit of fat to be able to work with the opening of the American market. So if I put a little bit of fat in my pocket right now, I'll have money to play with, a little bit of margin to play with for bigger trades as well. So if it doesn't close above, I will stop this trade. I will close this trade. This is a very good target there, but we have some obstacles and price is fighting to get through. Now candle 46 here is the last trigger candle before he actually can pay us our target. Let's say if candle 56 is going to have enough volume to break through that trigger candle 46. It's good. So far, so good. We just need a little bit more of a push. A little bit more of a push. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Candle 840 is almost there. We just need the spread to go over that line. Paid. Great. So this was a awesome trade. Pretty good. Happy with that. Let's see what price will do now. This is pretty funny. I'm also bought on a prop firm that I used, and price did not liquidate my trade. It hit the price, but it just jumped my order. That's not nice. But let's see if price goes back in there to pay us. Candle 56 has closed, so that leaves the obligation of candle 57 to come to this last high, which is the maximum of the movement. Let's see if it will hit there. Great. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that one. It is 10 o'clock. I'll just leave a very quick analysis of what could happen today here on our gold. So at the moment, we are in a bullish movement. Okay. We, at the moment, being where it is, we can expect the gold to break through and come at least around here. Should this trigger candle here. Let me just grab this one instead. So we do have that trigger candle on the 1 hour. It's just being broken through right now. This is the last point that could hold this price, okay? So just be very careful around this region here. That's a very good target point. Now, price may well do this. It may grab this liquidity here above candle 135. If it does break in there and bring the price back down, you could see possibly just a run to get that liquidity on top. Okay, so if it grabs that liquidity on top, brings it back inside of this movement here, wait for a test, okay, before you want to sell. Wait for a small test, at least around the trigger candle that it will live in there, and then you could short the market if it confirms the pullback. So once it confirms the pullback, breaks through the trigger candle, you would have a good target into about 50% of this region here or the support below. All right. So these are for shorting the market. Okay. So if it grabs liquidity here and then brings the price back through this structure, tests up and confirms a pullback to the minimals, you have a good shorting trade. If it breaks through this support here, if it breaks through this support, most likely, okay, most likely, price will come down to grab all this liquidity that he left below. This is a very big inefficiency on the 1 hour chart, okay? So price could come here to grab this liquidity before it keeps on moving up. Now, I think the gold is expensive, but I'm not afraid of keeping on buying it simply because of the macroeconomy, okay? People are running to the gold because the gold is the safest asset in the world to have at the moment. All right, so we have all of these here. Sales down here, I wouldn't buy up the top, okay? We got into a good trade, made 800 bucks in here, which is really good. I wouldn't buy up here for the moment unless it makes a correction of price. Okay, if it retracts, create some sort of pullback for us to continue on buying, or if it breaks through that candle there, that 104, 113, is that 113, 104, 115? If it breaks through that 115, then it could be telling us that this price is going to keep on renewing that all-time high. Okay, so just pay attention around this region here. It has been great. It has been great to be here with you guys today. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this channel with all your friends. Okay, it's been pretty awesome for me to be part of this project with you guys. We do need your help with subscribers. Okay, we have an aim of 3,000 people in 2 months, and I don't know 3,000 people. So I need help from you guys to make sure that this channel continues on growing. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, don't forget to leave your comment in there. I'll do my best to answer them. And this is the trading cage where we beat the gold once again. Thank you very much. I will see you all tomorrow. Throughout the day, I'll be leaving some shorts on the channel. So just leave the notifications on so you can get those when they come through. Thank you. See you tomorrow, and God bless.